Hello, everyone. I, hello, everyone. I'm Alan Preston, and this is the Cooking Without Looking TV show. We're the only show which features blind and visually impaired people living in their real, authentic lives. Yes, this is my home right here. All of us on the show are blind or visually impaired. In the summertime here in South Florida, which means rain, rain, rain. Renee, that's bad in the script. The sun is shining right now. Yeah, it rains every day, but the sun does come out too. But we're inside anyway where it's nice and dry. Oh, that wasn't the case a couple of years ago. In the meantime, we'll enjoy learning a new recipe to prepare for our summer fun when it's not raining. For those who have been following us, you'll notice that someone is missing. My co-host, Annette Watkins. Annette, where are you? Annette is on vacation. So I'm flying solo today. Let's see. We got a really special show for you, a reunion of sorts. When we started the Cooking Without Looking show 21 years ago, wow, 21 years ago, amazing. We had a show which featured children who were blind along with their parents. Today, we've invited one of those children, who is no longer a child, by the way, back to our show to help us change the way we see blindness. By the way, that's hashtag change the way we see blindness. Winona Brackett, welcome back, Winona.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me. It's so good to be back.
Well, so Winona, you're, let's see, you're, well, excuse the term, old friend of the Cooking Without Looking TV show. I'm the old one, you're young. How old were you when you appeared on the show the first time with us?
Well, I was 9, and it was the beginning of 4th grade, and there was a problem that uh, we were, my mom and uh, we were concerned that I was going to miss the second day of school. But so we went to the principal and we asked, and she was like, "Do you think Winona's going to remember missing the second day of school, being here at school, or do you think Winona's going to remember being on a cooking show?" And I, to this day, remember being on that show, and it was so much fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Winona, because we enjoyed having you guys on the show with us.
It was so much fun.
Remind me and our audience, were you born blind? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I was born blind. I was born 16 weeks premature, and I I grew up with a very supportive family who made it seem like you're blind, that's okay, and you can do everything that everyone else can do, and it'll be using different ways and alternative techniques, and um, it, so many supportive friends along the way, and I'm really appreciative of them.
Winona, when you were young, your parents were both sighted, right?
Yes.
And did you have any brothers and sisters that were blind?
No, both of my brothers are sighted.
And what about young friends? Did you have any blind friends when you were young?
Yes, I have a few blind friends when I was younger, and we, a lot of us, we went to public school together, and actually, my friend Brianna Soremsko, she just did a podcast with you guys on the Cooking Without Looking show, and Brianna and I grew up together, and we played together as kids, and
And you're still friends today, right?
we are still friends today, and for that I am very grateful.
That's pretty amazing. Winona, you're most likely an expert on this subject. Tell us what you'd tell parents who have a child who is blind.
So, for parents of blind children, I would say that it is so important that um, you first your child is blind, but they also still like to play with their friends and be kids, and also that the the families could network with other parents of blind children so that they can get maybe some tips or just feeling more connected in the blindness community. And um, my mom, when I um, my mom was really involved with the NFB when I was a child, and because she made so many connections with parents of blind children and had mentors, she started the Florida chapter of the Parents of Blind Children so that parents could network with each other in the state of Florida through the National Federation of the Blind.
Yes, I remember that. I remember going to some NFB conventions and talking with your mother, with the parents with blind children.
Mm.
That's pretty amazing what they do. It's a good place if you are a parent of a blind child to uh, to network. That's the word I'm looking for, to network, and that's through the National Federation of the Blind, right, Debbie?
Yes,
I'm sorry, Winona. I just called you by your mother's name.
yeah, I realized that, and it's okay.
Thank you. Uh, well, we are a cooking show, and Winona, most cooks kind of specialize in one area or another. They're bakers, or they're fry cooks, or what kind of a cook are you?
I like to bake. I've never said this before, but I am a baker.
Yeah.
I am a baker. I enjoy making cookies, which I am making today, and I enjoy making brownies that I also talked about on the podcast, which you guys should totally go and check out. Um, and Recently I've uh, done pizza dough, and fun things like that.
And what is it that made you such an avid baker? Something you did when you were a child?
Yeah, I was when I was on the Cooking Without Looking show. Um, I actually made chocolate chip cookies, which I'm going to do again today. But I, I, we made cookies all the time, especially around Christmas, and the sugar cookies, shaped like different Christmas shapes and things. And from there, it's been so much fun. And like I was saying earlier about parents of blind children, my mom showed me how to bake, and using Braille measuring cups and Braille measuring spoons, and feeling the feeling how full the cups are instead of seeing it with your eyes, and so many things, and
You just compensate with the other senses. If you can't see it, you can smell it, you can feel it. So when things are cooking, you can hear it, like when things
yeah,
start to boil or fry. Absolutely. Use your other senses. I like to
yeah.
cook seeing with my brain.
That's right.
So, what is it that you are preparing for us today? Well, you already told us you're going to make us some chocolate chip cookies, didn't you?
I did, but I will gladly say again, I am making chocolate chip cookies. I am so excited, and I just want to say thank you again for inviting me, and I uh, I'm ready to get these cookies started.
All right, Winona, we're very glad to have you. You know, on my script here, it says you're making these from scratch. I have gone through grocery store after grocery store. I can't find scratch anywhere.
Um, I can't either. The only scratch I can find is a scratch on the chocolate chips.
Okay.
Uh,
These are one of my favorites. I love chocolate chip cookies, and I remember that now.
yeah.
So, show us how you do it, Winona.
Okay. So what I do is I mix the dry ingredients separately and the wet ingredients separately. And so I have two different bowls and a whisk, and I I have the dry ingredients, and it is 2 cups of flour, some salt, and baking soda. And
Now,
so
you've pre-measured all these?
yes,
Okay.
yes, these are it's pre-measured, um, and I had
I know if I'm making something with a bunch of ingredients, I like to measure everything up and have it all ready and stick it in little bowls and stuff. I can't see what you're doing, but I expect you probably do the same.
yes, these are in bowls, and so right now I'm using a whisk to whisk together the flour, salt, and baking soda.
Okay. What's the difference between baking soda and baking powder?
Um, I don't know except something about the science and how the chemicals work together.
Of course.
Uh, I really don't know.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough. I'm not real sure either. Uh, I do a little cooking, but I don't very often use either baking soda or baking powder. So now you whisk the ingredients together. What are the wet ingredients?
Sorry.
I say you've whisked the dry ingredients together. That's hard to say. What are the wet ingredients?
The wet ingredients are butter, eggs, um, vanilla extract, and so now I am going to put. I'm going to grab the mixer and plug it in.
How much butter and how many eggs?
It's 1 egg and it's 1.5 sticks of butter.
Okay. Oh, that sounded good. I like butter.
Don't we all? It's great.
I just hope my cardiologist doesn't see this show.
Yeah.
Sorry. No. Click to subscribe to our newsletter. Web dialog. Subscribe. Advertisement. See. Advertisement. Complimentary. Link. Link.
What's going on here?
Compliment.
Don't
Times
know.
Work for personal coaching. New member. New. Heading level. Great for sustainable weight loss plans. Prioritize balance.
Renee, are you hearing that?
Bar. Tabs. Button.
Yes, I thought it was Winona.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Not us. Not either one of us.
Secure. Text.
okay. It was Flo. Okay, here we go.
Okay. So, okay, where are we at? We had 1.5 sticks of butter. What else?
We have 1 egg. We have, so right now I have the granulated sugar in my hand, and I'm going to pour it in the other mixing bowl. And I have the brown sugar, which I'm going to take a spoon and make it not clumpy.
Ah, okay. You're doing that with a spoon, right?
Yes, I'm using a spoon.
Yeah, I've used the back of a spoon to make things like clump.
And I'm going to put the butter in the bowl as well.
Is that butter soft or is that hard out of the refrigerator?
It's softened to room temperature.
Okay.
So now the mixer is plugged in, and I'm going to mix the butter, the granulated sugar, and the brown sugar together.
Okay. It's a bit noisy, but we got the message.
Sorry?
I say it was a bit noisy.
Yeah, that's a mixer.
Yep. Is that a stainless steel bowl?
Yes.
I could tell by the sound of it.
Yep. So
Okay.
now
I was just being silly. I was gonna say, who gets to lick the beaters?
I
I
do.
hope you unplug the mixer first.
Oh yeah, definitely. That'd be a disaster. All right, so now I'm going to pour in the egg. I cracked the egg, and so now I'm pouring it in.
The whole thing, egg, yolk and white and everything, right?
Correct,
Everything but the shell.
except the shell. And then I'm going to, well, mix it a little bit since I added the egg.
Ah,
And gonna,
I always like to use really big bowls, much bigger than what I would normally need. Flashing and everything. You do that too?
yes, I do. And so now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Mix it again. so after the butter, both sugars, the egg and vanilla extract are well mixed together, I start to add the dry ingredients slowly so that if you put all the ingredients together,
It clumps up funny, I suppose, doesn't it?
say that one more time.
She just found the top. She just found the top that popped off. So we've got a little
Oh.
treasure here.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't see what's going on, but
Oh no, I know that. So I'll give you the describer.
okay.
The top to the container that I had the vanilla extract in fell off, and I didn't know where it went, but it landed actually in the bowl of the dry ingredients, which is okay.
Oh no. That wouldn't taste very good at all.
I felt something plastic in the bowl when I was trying to scoop out some ingredients, so I'm glad that was the lid because I found it.
Could mistake it for a chocolate chip. Big.
Well, we're gonna get there later.
Okay. So now you're mixing the ingredients, the dry ingredients in slowly so it doesn't clump up funny, right?
Yes. And first I'm going to use a spatula to get some off the beaters. Sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't, and it's easier to just use your fingers. So
Yeah, that's what I've used to use too, but it's not the cleanest thing, especially.
You also have to be sure they're turned off.
yeah,
Yes, or pulled out of the yes. I don't know why I'm having a lot of fun with this show.
it's good to have fun.
Yes,
It
it
is.
is.
It is.
So now I'm continuing to add the dry ingredients.
Are you mixing it in by hand?
No, with the mixer.
Oh, okay.
I have a spoon to scoop to hold the bowl with the dry ingredients kind of tipped so that I can use a spoon and scrape it out a little bit.
Okay.
Trying to scoop stuff out of the beaters again.
Yeah, it does kind of get clumpy into the feeders.
It does.
But then that's less batter for the people who are going to eat them.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times when I was making chocolate chip cookies, the batter would kind of disappear and there wouldn't be a whole lot left for cookies.
Yeah, they're trying to fool us and tell us it's not good to eat the batter raw, but I don't listen to that either.
I think that's propaganda. That's right.
I think so. Most of us would be dead right now, I think.
Yeah, probably. But the dry ingredients are in the bowl with the wet ingredients, and I'm going to mix it one more time. And I'm going to get the beaters and try and get as much of the dough as I can off so that when I add the chocolate chips, it will be easier to mix in.
they'll be more uniform through the entire batter. That's good.
Yes.
Alan, don't you wish you were there to help out with those beaters?
She wouldn't have much cookie dough left to make.
Yeah.
My brothers and I used to fight over the beaters.
Yeah, when I was making things at home, actually, with my mom and my brothers, it was, all right, who's gonna lick the beaters? Well, I do and I do. Well, then you each only get to lick one.
Oh yeah, and the beater liquor had to do the cleanup too.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of it.
Yeah.
I recall there wasn't a lot left over in the bowl to lick the bowl.
No, and when my mom was like, well, you want to lick the bowl, it's like, okay. There's not much here.
It's not much of a challenge, though. The challenge is always fun with those beaters.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It was the cake batter that you could lick the bowl.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to get it off. I'm sure there's faster ways to do this, but I don't know that yet.
I think that's part of the fun of making the cookies, though, is being with other people and taking a little time to do this stuff and just having fun with it too.
Yes. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick.
What, you're not going to lick your fingers?
Of course. Okay. Plugging the mixer back in.
Putting your things back where they belong is an important part of cooking when you can't see what you're doing.
Sure is.
I've made the mistake of leaving things lay on the counter and then later knocking them over because I didn't know they were there.
Yup.
Of course, my guide dog kind of likes that sometimes, depending on what it is.
Yeah. Alright, so now the cool part. We're adding the chocolate chips.
The pièce de resistance.
Yep. And alright, so here we go. The chocolate chips.
That electric mixer is probably a lot faster and a lot better, and I've actually got one, but I don't know. The chocolate chip cookies, I always mixed them by hand,
Oh.
with a wooden spoon. I don't know why, I just did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you added with a spoon. I had this vision of you just sticking your hand in there and globbing it around.
I could do that.
That's something new that I haven't tried.
Frequent finger licking keeps your fingers clean.
Yes. So now I'm gonna, once again, take the beaters out and put the, take out as much dough as I can so that we can have as many cookies as possible.
That was my mistake. I used to eat the stuff I took off the beaters, and there just wasn't very many cookies left over.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do that too, but it's always fun to share my cookies. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, this is for the show too.
Yeah. You guys will get some.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I keep getting after Renee about coming up with smell-o-vision.
Right?
Love the smell of chocolate chip cookies when they bake.
You know, in the 80s, there was like a show that they did to try that with. And it was like at a 7-Eleven, and they gave you like a little card with various smells. And when those smells came up within the movie, you were supposed to smell it. It was like, oh my God, this is, it's very rudimentary, but it was sort of funny too. Like if a rose came up in the movie, you got to smell the rose on that little card. So I guess we could have a card with chocolate chip cookie smell on it.
Ooh, that would be good.
It's not a bad idea, but then they'd have to write in and get the card. You have to mail them out that card.
Maybe,
No, we
maybe you guys could patent it.
They gave them away at the it was just a big promotion we did, and they gave them away at the 7-Eleven. So you had to go to the 7-Eleven, pick up the card, and then you could watch the movie. And then, you know, it was interesting to say the least. But or we could have Renew's it chocolate chip cookie scent.
That's right. And so almost all of the batter is off the beaters. Just a couple little chunks left.
Okay.
And now the hard part is waiting, because the cookie dough has to sit in the fridge and chill for at least an hour. And then after an hour, you can roll balls of dough onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper or silicone baking mats, and you preheat the oven to 350. While the oven is preheating, you roll the balls of dough, and then you put it in for about 10 minutes, and then take it out, let them cool, and then enjoy.
I always had a hard time letting them cool off at the end too.
I do too.
You've got to be careful of the chocolate chips. Ooh.
Yes.
Can you show us some of your finished product? Do you have one done already?
I do. So
wonderful.
let me wash my hands, because I always want to serve food with clean hands.
Yeah. Keeping clean in the kitchen is probably one of the most important things.
Yes.
Now, do you have your stove and oven and everything marked in a special way so you could read them?
Yes, I have the dials with bump dots on them.
Okay, I thought.
They're like stickers with like a raised puffy part, and I have them set on the dial of like where 350 is on the oven, and on the low, medium, high settings of the stove.
I've done the same thing, yes. And if you put at least one of those dots on there on a common number, like 350, you can easily figure out where the other ones are.
Yes.
Yep. Temperature. I commonly use 400 and 375 also.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got the dot 375. I can't remember. Yeah, I do have it on that.
Right. So
now I can't see what's going on there. Winona, do you have your finished product there?
Yes, I have the cookies. They are on a plate, and I am very excited. They are round, and You want to try one?
I would love to. I'm trying to
Yes,
figure
yes.
out how to reach one through the
Yeah.
screen.
You got him?
Winona, thank you so much.
Well, I'm gonna try.
She's torturing us. She's eating.
Oh man, that's terrible. I gotta go and buy chocolate chip cookies. Does anyone in our audience have any questions for either Winona or myself?
Yes, is there a FoodX company that will deliver things like this to us?
Hey, Flo.
Oh, there's an idea.
I know, right? Now I wish I could drive.
do
Now I
they
want a cookie.
like Uber Eats that could pick them up from your place, Winona, and bring some down here to South Florida?
Possibly. You never know.
Yeah, that was a good
Oh.
recipe. Thank you, Winona.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Flo.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Are there any other questions in the audience for either Winona or myself? Winona, you're up in South Carolina, right? Oh, did I lose you?
No, she's eating the cookie slowly in front of us.
Oh,
She just shook her head. Yes, she's in South
Well,
Carolina.
that's
And she
rude.
slowly munched her cookie.
I'm curious what the weather is like there today. We broadcast all over the world, and there's
Hot.
places where it might even be snowing today, right?
No, it's hot out.
Okay.
Where in South Carolina are you located, Winona?
I'm in Greenville.
Oh, okay. I'm in Laurinburg, North Carolina.
Okay.
So I'm like 10 minutes from the border of South Carolina. So, yeah, you can take Uber Eats and bring me the cookies.
You're a lot closer than I am down in South Florida, but yeah, that's a great idea.
Oh,
Well, Winona, it has been so much fun catching up with you after all these years. I'm so glad to see you're still cooking and still having fun.
Yes, it's been great seeing you guys again and being on the show. Thanks so much for inviting me. This has been so much fun.
it's a
I'm
wonderful
glad
show.
you enjoyed it because we enjoyed you too. And thank all of you for joining us on this summertime episode of the Cooking Without Looking TV show. If you like today's recipe, please go to our website at www.cookingwithoutlooking.tv.wordpress.com. If you'd like to enjoy today's show or other shows, please go to our Cooking Without Looking YouTube channel. And if you're a teacher of people who are blind or visually impaired, please feel free to use our show for your students, as many around the country and the world have done, in 35 countries around the world have done. Also, check out our Cooking Without Looking podcast, anywhere you get your favorite podcast, and all Alexa-enabled devices. If you'd like to donate to our Vision World Foundation, and we'd really like that, to help change the way we see blindness, please go to our website at www.cookingwithoutlooking.tv.wordpress.com and click on the link right at the top of the page. For information, please call 305-200-9104. For our next show on Friday, June 24th at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, along with the American Council of the Blind. I'm Alan Preston, and on behalf of all of us at the Cooking Without Looking TV show and Vision World Foundation, thank you for joining us today, and join us again soon.